Khloe Kardashian fires back at ex-employee with cancer amid lawsuit. Khloe Kardashian is in the middle of a legal battle involving a cancer-stricken ex-employee. Based on the latest updates, Khloe fired back amid this current lawsuit. So what's the latest on this, and what else do we know so far about this ongoing situation? Khloe Kardashian is often a target. When you come from a famous family, like Khloe Kardashian does, that public spotlight is not all fun and games at the end of the day. While that publicity is what made them a family of billionaires, that same spotlight can turn sour just as quickly. As many Kardashian family fans know, because this family is always under a microscope, they often find themselves having to contend with legal issues. Based on the latest updates on Khloe Kardashian, she recently fired back at an ex-employee suing the Good American founder. Kardashian being sued by former employee with cancer. Based on the latest updates making the rounds, Khloe Kardashian and her business partner are being sued by a former Good American employee with cancer. In the lawsuit, a former employee named Brooke alleged that her working relationship with Khloe's fashion brand was good until she asked for accommodations related to her health. As reported by In Touch, in her suit, the former employee cited suffering from mental and emotional injuries, including anxiety, stress, self-doubt, worry, frustration, depression, and embarrassment. Brooke also allegedly got a letter from the UCLA Department of Medicine, stating that she should work remotely until she finished another round of treatment. However, Brooke claimed that Khloe Kardashian and her business partner pressured her to take medical leave instead. It has also been alleged that she was told that her situation was undermining the organization. From there, Brooke claimed that she saw a job listing posted for her role, and that by the time the following month came around, she was laid off due to company-wide layoffs. The way Brooke sees things, she believes she was deliberately targeted because of her disability. Khloe Kardashian fires back amid heated lawsuit. As everyone knows, particularly when it comes to legal matters, there are always several sides to any story. On Khloe Kardashian's end of things, in light of this former employee filing a discrimination lawsuit against Good American, they want Brooke to undergo a mental examination before trial. A lawyer for Khloe Kardashian and her Good American business partner, Emma Grade, said, to the extent Brooke suffered any symptoms of mental or emotional distress or injury, it was the result of pre-existing psychological disorders or alternative concurrent causes, and not the result of any act or omission of defendants. The lawyer continued, adding, Brooke is barred from claiming any injuries or damages because such injuries and damages are the sole, direct and proximate result of Brooke's conduct. Brooke had pre-existing mental distress due to cancer and other alternative causes that existed before she was terminated. Any alleged emotional distress was not due to the alleged actions of defendants. Khloe Kardashian leaned back in the plush velvet chair of her Calabasas home, her nails tapping against the edge of her laptop. Headlines had already begun circulating like wildfire. Ex-assistant with cancer sues Khloe Kardashian for wrongful termination. Her PR team had called an emergency Zoom an hour earlier, faces lined with concern, voices tight with urgency. But Khloe wasn't in a panic. No, not this time. She was livid. This isn't just a misunderstanding, she told her assistant, a soft-spoken young woman named Bryn. This is a full-blown smear campaign. The assistant in question was none other than Malcolm Pierce, a 33-year-old former staffer who had worked for Khloe for nearly 2 years. He had been responsible for day-to-day logistics, including scheduling, errands, and, as Khloe often joked, keeping my world from burning down. He was efficient, dedicated, kind, but he had also stopped showing up, ghosted communication for weeks, and according to her legal team, never submitted any formal medical leave documentation, at least not until months after disappearing. Now, the public narrative painted her as a heartless celebrity who discarded a cancer-stricken employee like yesterday's trending topic. Khloe stared at the statement her lawyers had drafted. It was cold, clinical, the type of legal jargon meant to protect, not provoke. But Khloe wanted her truth out there. Raw, real, Khloe style. So she did what Kardashians did best, toned down just enough to suggest both seriousness and sincerity. Khloe hit go live. Within seconds, tens of thousands tuned in. Her name was already trending, and fans, critics, and gossip hounds alike wanted to hear her side. "Hey everyone," she began, lips pursed with tension. "I wasn't going to say anything, but after seeing the headlines, I feel like I have to." She paused, looking directly into the camera with her hazel eyes steeled. "I have nothing but sympathy for anyone going through cancer. It's a horrible, devastating illness, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But what I won't allow is my character to be assassinated under the guise of victimhood." The chat flooded with comments, some supportive, some scathing. Khloe didn't blink. "I found out about Malcolm's diagnosis the same way the public did, through a lawyer's letter. Before that, silence. Weeks of unanswered texts, missed appointments, skipped responsibilities. I thought maybe he quit. I even sent someone to check if he was okay." She sighed, shaking her head. "I never got a call. I never got a message. No one said, 'Hey Khloe, Malcolm's battling something.' So yes, I filled his position. Not out of cruelty, but because I run a home, a business, a life that doesn't stop moving." The next part stung. She had practiced it, rewrote it in her head 100 times, but it still landed with a knot in her throat. "I paid his salary for weeks after he stopped working. I even offered to help with medical costs, which, by the way, he never acknowledged. And now I'm being dragged in the media like I threw him to the wolves." She narrowed her eyes slightly, the fire returning. "This isn't just about me. This is about every employer who's expected to be psychic. It's about boundaries and communication. And no, having cancer doesn't give you a free pass to defame someone who once cared deeply for you." Khloe ended the live abruptly, before she could let emotion override reason. The damage was done, or perhaps the healing had just begun. The next morning, the internet split into factions. #Team Khloe trended, with fans reposting clips of her tearful delivery, applauding her poise. Others dubbed her tone cold, unempathetic, or performative. Malcolm's attorney fired back with a statement to TMZ, accusing Khloe of emotional manipulation and gaslighting. They claimed that Malcolm had notified an HR liaison and that internal communication failures weren't his fault. They also alleged that after his diagnosis, Malcolm had been iced out. No calls, no inquiries, just radio silence and an eventual pink slip delivered by courier. But Khloe had receipts. Text blogs, emails, and an affidavit from a mutual contact were released through her reps. Each painted a picture of a celebrity blindsided by abandonment, not malice. Even Kim chimed in, tweeting, "We support our people, but we can't help if we're shut out." Behind the scenes, Kris Jenner was already on the phone with top crisis managers, urging damage control before the lawsuit could become a PR wildfire. "Make it go away," she said sharply, mascara wand in one hand, coffee in the other. "I don't care how." But Khloe, she was done being silent. In a follow-up podcast appearance, Khloe dug even deeper. There's this narrative that celebrities are untouchable punching bags. We're not allowed to defend ourselves without being called bullies. But I will always stand up for what's true, even if it costs me. The host asked gently, If Malcolm were listening right now, what would you say to him? Khloe blinked, letting a brief moment of vulnerability surface. I'd say, I'm sorry you're going through what you are. And I wish you healing, truly. But you know the truth, just like I do. And trying to destroy me won't cure you. As the case moved toward mediation, rumors swirled that a settlement was possible. One that included no admission of wrongdoing, but perhaps a charitable donation toward cancer research in Malcolm's name. Still, the emotional toll lingered. Not just on Khloe, but on a celebrity culture constantly asked to walk the tightrope between compassion and self-preservation. Khloe sat alone one night, scrolling through old texts from Malcolm, back when he sent photos of her daughter True playing peekaboo behind the kitchen island. The memories felt distant, like another life. Firing back had felt necessary. But healing, that was the real work. And no legal statement could speed that along. As the moon cast shadows across her designer hallway, Khloe whispered aloud, "Let them say what they want. I know who I am." And in that silence, she almost believed it.